How is James Norris already here? I just started this thing. How is this possible? Do people get notified when I'm ready to go live? Is that what happens? Ah, that's probably what happens. Because I didn't go live, I was waiting to set this up with Wi-Fi on this phone. I'm using my my Jeff Attack. I just turned the button on over here. Oh, I can't tell you any of this stuff. Let me go to the video so I can see the comments real quick. So just give me 1 second. Yes, I already said that. Alright, so we got James Norris. Party! How you doing, James? Still stopping traffic, I assume. Yeah. You stopped high production, buddy. I was doing high production, doing my thing, and you stopped me. I won't forget that. Anyway, topic of the night, safety and parking. Very important topics. We want to be able to live in a van or RV, and we like to be safe, and we like to find a place to park for the night. And there could be issues with that. Fortunately, I never had an issue with safety. I had never had a knock on my door, or nobody rang the doorbell either. And I never had a problem finding a place to park. Now, be it since I bought my van, since I've been living in the van, I've been working almost all the time in the same place. Or I was working in the same place. I'm no longer there. I'm with somebody else. I might as well turn off my computer. So I kind of took it for granted for a little bit, because I had this perfect parking spot. Okay, this is a parking spot for employees of the place that I was working at. And in the beginning, when I first started living in a van, I didn't park there because it said employees only. But I'm like, after a while, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm kind of an employee. I'm working for a company that's working for this company, doing stuff here. So why can't I park there? So one night I drive in there and I park, and I thought, sure enough, somebody's going to come knocking, because they have cameras, they are filming. And I thought, somebody's going to come knocking, and I'll just tell them, you know what, I was tired and I didn't feel like driving, whatever, and no big deal, and I work here, blah blah. Nobody knocked. So I figured, no, let me park again a second night. And I parked there second night, and I thought, sure enough, somebody's going to knock. And nobody knocked. So a couple of years later, I'm still parking there, and I go there, you know, at night to park. And I'm like, somebody will eventually knock. Nobody ever knocked. Because where I was working at, some of the employees, well, I think all the employees, no, wait. They were doing different jobs, and some of the employees worked 4 hours on and 4 hours off, and a lot of them would go in the parking lot and sleep for 4 hours, whatever. So they didn't think anything of it, that, you know, that my van was there, you know. So, but I was discreet. I would go in, I would park facing the fence, so that I could go in and out without people kind of like looking at me too much. And I was discreet, but being discreet, there were times when I had to work in the winter. My first winter I was there working, and it snowed, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just going to stay here. And I'd stay there for a couple days, not even moving. So it was secure. It was a secure parking space, safe, and never had an issue. Now, during the time that I worked there, since 2014 until just this past year when I left for Florida, we did jobs somewhere else. So when I had to leave there and go somewhere else, if you saw my videos, and if you remember, I worked at an airport, and then I worked at a bridge, or before at the bridge and then the airport. And then when that happened, I had to go to a new place. And to me, I'm like, okay, now I'm at a new place. I have to find new parking spots. So where do I go? So, I go and search. Some of the places I stay at are hotels. If you are very discreet, you go in like you belong there, and you park, and you don't go in and out. You don't announce that you are there. You don't turn lights on and off that can be seen from the outside. You don't shake the van. You don't make too much noise. You go there basically to sleep. You're never going to have a problem. I've been staying out of hotels for years. I've stayed out of hotels in many states, including New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan. Many states that stayed out of hotels, and I never had an issue. I never had anyone come and knock on my van saying that, hey, you don't belong here. Not once. So you have to be smart. You have to use common sense, and then you can stay there with no issues. I even had hotels that I stayed at for like 2 or 3 nights in a row, because they don't know if you are staying there. There's guests that stay 2, 3, 4 nights. There are guests that work in construction, and I see their vehicles there at certain hotels, and they go back every night to that hotel. So if I go back every night to the same hotel, it's not going to look strange. It's going to look like I belong there, And I also found a parking right to be very good places to park. Now you have to use common sense. Some parking rides may be a little iffy, so you have to be judgmental of where you park. But I found this parking space while I was working at the airport. It was just a couple miles from the airport. And even though I had 2 hotels I could stay at within a stone's throw from the airport, basically, if I walked there, I could walk there in 5 minutes. Driving, I could drive there from the hotel to the airport in maybe 30 seconds. That's how close they were. And I stayed at those hotels quite a bit, and I would alternate. Then I found this parking ride. It was a couple miles from the airport, but it was perfect. I parked there the first night. I'm like, oh, I'll try it. Then I thought, you know what? I'm going to try a second night, and a third night, and a fourth night, and a fifth night, and then I started staying there every day of the week. I never had anyone come and knock on my van. Hey, you don't belong here. Not once, because I went there when it got dark, well, a little bit dark, and I would park, and I wouldn't move, and I wouldn't make noise, and I would be in here and never had an issue. Nobody ever said anything, and the cops sometimes would even go in there. Had an issue. So if you want to live in a van and you are afraid of finding parking spaces, if you live out east like me, don't be afraid. There's always some place you can park. You can always park at a hotel if you're smart. You can always park or park and ride, and there's always the choice of parking on the street if you find a nice town to park at, and you have to be conscious not to park, if they're single family homes, not to park right in front of somebody's home, because the neighbors will know who the other neighbors are, and they know what kind of vehicles they drive, and all of a sudden they see a van parked there. They're gonna be, what is this doing here? That doesn't belong to me, doesn't belong to my neighbor. But if you find a place that's like multi-family homes, right, then you could park a little bit better. Or even if it's single family homes, but if you park like next to an empty lot or something, or at the edge of an empty lot, so it looks like you could be staying at different homes. So that will work. And there's many more other places that you can stay at for free. I mean, there's state parks Some will allow you to stay for free for a certain amount of time. Some will allow you to stay for very cheap, $5 or $10. I'd rather not pay even $5. I'd rather find places for free. And in Pennsylvania, where I just yesterday I stayed there, and I've stayed there many times in the past, and sometimes I stay there for a few days at a time. And especially if the weather is bad, I'll stay there for a couple days without moving. And it's I think there's no signs. I think it's a park and ride, but there's no signs that say it's a park and ride. But it's between two hotels. So I got a hotel here, the parking lot here, and then another hotel here. And I've noticed over time that there's vehicles that sometimes stay there for days and weeks at a time. So nobody knows. That's the most perfect spot I got. It's beautiful. Also, you can park in rest areas sometimes, even though they say no more than 3 hours. But look, if you're tired and you can't continue on, and the cop comes knocking, you just say, "Listen, I'm feeling very tired. I really can't continue. You want me to leave here and get into an accident?" Just don't be confrontational. You know what I mean? Don't be confrontational, but be nice, and hopefully the cop will understand that you're tired, so let you stay there. If that happens, I've stayed at many rest stops. I never had an issue. Nobody ever said anything. So, yeah, I mean, just the main thing, before I go to your comments, I got quite a few here. The main thing is, if you're not used to, if you've done this for a while, you don't need my advice. But if you're just thinking of doing this, then the main thing is to use common sense. Okay, common sense goes a long way. When you park somewhere, don't make a lot of noise. Don't go in and out. If you have pets, you got to be careful that the pet, if it's a dog, doesn't start barking in the middle of the night. It's going to give you away. And just use common sense. Watch for the lights. If you have windows that will leak light, then don't turn the lights on. Go to your parking space after you brush your teeth and you're all ready to go to bed. So when you get there, all you got to do is turn the van off, hop in the back, and go to sleep. So it's just mainly common sense. If you use some common sense and some smarts, you'll never have a problem. So that's my 2 cents on this whole dollar bill charade here. Anyway, let me go to the comments real quick. Like I said, James is he stopped the guy on the nice Sprinter 4x4 yesterday. See, he's still there stopping people. Unbelievable. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. Vaz Al says hello. Hello, Vaz. And Maddie Clements. Hiya, how really short hair cut? Yeah, I got a haircut the other day. Really short. It's easy to manage. My hair, as it grows, it starts getting curly and just and then just all over the place. So keep it short. Ed is over here. Ed, how you doing, Ed? I'll try my best to ignore you. RV Lucky. Hello, everybody. How you doing, RV? Okay, I forgot to ask, is my connection okay? Because I have like 2 bars LTE. So I'm hoping that this is a good connection. I do have Wi-Fi, but this Wi-Fi may not be too fast. I'm using the Wi-Fi for the phone for this one. But so let me know if the connection is okay. Is it good? Is it good enough? Is it fuzzy? If it's fuzzy, it's no good. But if it's all right, the connection is great in London, UK. Thank you for clarifying that, because I just went by a London somewhere in some other state, so I forgot where. All right, let me go back to the comments. Uh, it seems like some people are having trouble with this connection. I apologize. I should know better. Unfortunately, I'm over here waiting for my daughter. She's working, so she's going to leave at about 10 something. So about 9, 10, 9 o'clock, I gotta put it 9 o'clock. I gotta put a stop to this because I gotta go. No, not 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Eastern. I gotta go pick her up from work. So can't be late for that. So if I have to be here, and I thought I had good enough connection. So I hope it gets better. La source de outillage. Mike, how you doing, Mike? Janice, hotels take the license number when the person registers, and yours would be not on the database. True, some hotels take the do that. And in the beginning, I was a little bit hesitant to park there because of that. But not all hotels take the license plate. And probably from my experience, as far as today, tomorrow I could be different. But so far, my experience all these years is that nobody ever checks. Okay? Unless, see, that's why you have to be careful. You can't go into a hotel that's is fenced in and has security cars going around. So all the hotels that I've been at, they're the other day I was at a Hilton, okay, first class, Hilton. They don't have security going around. I know they have cameras, but nobody checks. I mean, you got a person there at night. He's probably watching YouTube, and he's probably even watching me. Like, I wonder if, I wish I could meet this guy. I wish and I'm right there parked so they don't go around checking. So you just have to, and if they come around, hey, what are you gonna do? But so far, at all the places that I stayed at, all these years, not one time anyone checked that I know of. Maybe they checked, but they're like, well, maybe they didn't give them the plate. Maybe they didn't give the front desk the plate. He's here. He looks like a guest. We'll let him stay. So I don't know. I never had an issue. Urban Stealth Camper Van Man. How you doing, man? That's a big name. My advice, I don't know if you have a channel or not. If you don't have a channel, that's fine. But if you have a channel, if you shorten the name, it would be more. But who am I to tell you what to do? So I digress. I move on. Great name. Urban Stealth Camper Van Man. All right. I think I missed some people. No, I did not. Oh, James Norris. I've never had trouble either. Haven't really tried that hard to, so guess I've just had good luck. 11 years now. So James has been doing this for 11 years. Is it 11 years in a row that you've been living in a van? Because I'm assuming that you don't have that van, that Mercedes, for 11 years. That looked like brand new. So good for you. 11 years. For here, I got to make a 4-year anniversary video. I haven't had a chance yet, being back to work and all, but that's coming up. Yeah. Ed G says it's correct. Most hotels don't even have you fill out the license plate anymore. Just describe the vehicle. That's it. You describe the vehicle, but some places may not even do that. And look, at night they have like one person in there at the front desk. Like I said, the guy or the gal, most likely, is texting or watching YouTube, going around inside the hotel once in a while. They are not going to come outside and look. Okay, unless there's a disturbance or something, they're not going to look. So Shelia M says hello from Tennessee. Hi Shelia. I was in Tennessee not long ago. You know, I have to say, all these eastern states, they all kind of look the same. I'm sorry if I offend anyone from Tennessee or Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, Maryland, even Florida. They all look the same. As you drive down, the only change you see is some of the trees will start getting moss in Georgia, and then you start seeing palm trees as you approach Florida. That's basically the only difference. It looks the same. Florida, of course, is a little flattish, and then you go to West Virginia and Kentucky, and it's hilly, and I think even Alabama starts becoming hilly, in Tennessee. So, but these states, they're all kind of like look the same. If you want something different, you have to go out west. After a certain point, then it starts to become different. So that's what I found traveling around all these states. How did I get there? I just said hi to Shaylee in Tennessee. I don't know. I acknowledged you, Ed. I did acknowledge you. And I always do. Sometimes I just decide not to say it verbally. Mike says there's a London in Ontario, Canada. There's Londons all over the place. I was just near a London the other day. I forget where. Don't remember. Oh, P. Singh says, any news on your battery system? Also, it's okay in Northampton, UK. There's news. I just can't report on the news yet because I'm still doing Lydia's videos. So once that is completed, and it's coming to an end, for better or worse, it's coming to an end. So as soon as that's completed, a couple videos afterwards, I'm going to start with my change that I did here in this van. I'm at 12.8. I can't say anymore, but I did some amazing changes to my van. Something that I should have done a long time ago, and I didn't, but now I did, and I'm so happy that I did these changes. But those videos are coming up soon. I don't want to say. If I say it, then you're gonna know everything, and then I can't say it. But those videos will be coming soon, within a week. That's all I can say. Just reading through the comments. Some of the comments, you folks are talking to each other, so I don't want to interfere with that. Colombia 2727 5678 2489 02529. I'm just kidding. It's just Colombia 2727. Do you speak Portuguese? Yes, I do. I speak Portuguese, I scratch Spanish and French and Italian, and yeah, so. James Norris says, I'm stealthy until I throw the solar panels on the ground. See, that's the problem. You gotta have solar panels on your roof. You gotta set up a roof rack kind of like mine. Make it so the roof rack kind of like hides your solar panels all around, and you're golden. You never have to do that. You know, the solar panels, whenever you park somewhere for the day, your solar panels are collecting all that energy, and you have to do nothing. you know, and that's what happens with me. I just park and I collect all the energy that I got. And now with the modifications that I did, I probably don't even have to be, when I leave work, I probably can go and park in the shade because I don't need any more power probably. And in the past, I have to park in the sun all day, and then even after I leave work, I always park in the sun because I'm trying to get as much power as I can. But probably I don't even have to do that anymore. So, yeah. Tamara Weber, Mobile, Alabama, is flat. Yes, but as you go up north in Alabama, it starts to become hilly. And then Tennessee is also, at least the parts that I drove, they were a little bit hilly. And then you're getting to Kentucky and they're hilly, and West Virginia, not to go, but at some parts where I was driving, I was almost like parallel with Blue Ridge. Yeah. Oh, you're very well. Thank you. I was gonna say you're very welcome. And that I should say thank you. Yeah, I just got a haircut the other day. It's a very simple haircut. I get the same haircut every time. It's very short on the sides, a little longer on the top, a little longer in the front. That's it. That's my requirements. I'm very simple. I wish Lydia could understand that. Lydia, okay, now we should know, Louis. You got to do this way, this way, this way. It's a free haircut. What can I say? But she does a good job, though. She does a very good job. Unfortunately, she cut my hair, and then we were doing stuff, traveling, and then by the time I got back, my hair is already grown. So, bye, Janice. Janice is moving on. Bob Flemings. Hey, Louis, what's going on from Middletown, PA? Right now, nothing is going on. I'm just sitting here. I was doing some editing and waiting for my daughter to leave work so I can go pick her up, and then I'm going to drop her back at home. I'll probably going to stay in the area, and then tomorrow I'm going to spend more time with the kids, and that's it. And then Monday back to work. I'm okay. I got something in my eye. All right, back to the comments here. Minivan Mike. Hi, Louis. Hi, Mike. How's the minivan? What kind of minivan do you have? I used to have an Odyssey. I had two Odysseys, actually. And in 2009, way before I even dreamed of living in a van, way before, 2009, I had a job working on a pipeline about an hour and a half from where I was living, Pennsylvania, from my house, my ex-house. And we were working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I'm like, you know what? I just can't drive back and forth an hour and a half every day. By the time I get home, it's time to leave and go back to work. So the first week, I didn't want to rent a hotel or a motel. So I found a little bed and breakfast. Actually, just like a bed thing. Just a lady had a home and she rented some rooms. So I rented the room, and it was $50 a night. And I'm there the first week, and I give her a check, and I'm looking at the money that I was paying. I'm like, darn it. Because they said that we may be there for about 3 months. I'm like, this is going to be a lot of money. So after the first week, I gave my ex-wife my car. I drove down to where we were. I gave her my car. I know, actually, this was before I bought the house. This was in 2008. And then I bought the house in 2009. So this is before I bought the house. So I gave my ex my car. I let her use my car. I took the van. I took the back seats out. She had some fabric, some denim fabric. We cut it to fit the windows. I put Velcro, and then I Velcroed the windows in. And I got an air mattress and some blankets. And this because when I started working was in October. So we worked 3 months until December 10th, I think, was my last day that when we finished. So I decided to do that, and I saved like $4,000 in 3 months. And I would just go to the hotel parking lot or to the motel parking lot, park there. Nobody ever said a word. I didn't have a curtain in the front seats, but in between the two seats, I would put like some clothing in there or something, you know, look like somebody just left some stuff in there. So if somebody looked, they couldn't really see past that barrier to my sleeping bag where I was obviously sleeping. So yeah, I did that, and I loved it, and I did that for 3 months before I ever thought of living in a van. And that's how I know about problems with condensation, because this is what I learned. I learned that even though it was getting cold, it was winter, and then it started getting really cold to the point where in the morning all my waters were frozen. But I learned not to have the heat on before I went to sleep. I would turn the heat off. I would open the windows. I would make the inside become cold, because when you have the inside that's hot, then you go into sleep and you are hot, so you go to sleep uncovered. All of a sudden you wake up freezing because it's freezing in a van, and now you can get sick. So I would let the van cool down, then I would go to sleep, cover myself up, and I would sleep perfect all night. But a problem that I was having was that my body heat in contact with the cold air from the air mattress would create condensation underneath me, and almost every night every morning I would wake up like wet from the condensation. So that's how I knew with my van to drill holes and do all that, and to watch out for that condensation, which never happened in my van. Only in the beginning, because I didn't have the holes yet, but I knew what to look for. So long story. I just went off. And okay, back to the comments here. Oh, that's right. Okay, so James says he just puts out some extra panels. You have the thin, flexible panels. Those are not very efficient. You may have 800 watts on your roof, but you probably have less than I have, and I have 325 watts. So probably what those 800 watts produce in energy-wise is probably less than what I produce with mine. So that's what I'm trying to get at. And my advice is, if you can, get solar panels like the ones I have, because those will maximize your energy output. But Mike asks, Minivan Mike, is Lydia's solar done? As far as I'm concerned, yes. As far as you're concerned, I haven't finished yet. Maybe I was able to finish everything, maybe I wasn't. I'm gonna keep everything hush hush mush mush. You're just gonna have to watch. So James Norris, I'm avoiding propane like the plague. I don't blame you. In the beginning of my van stuff, I bought a big propane tank, and I was going to set it up in the back and bring a hose to the front here for my heater, but then I'm like, you know what, I just never felt comfortable. I did end up giving it away to a friend of mine in Michigan, and I set it up, and the person said never had an issue, and would, you know. But I have the little 1 pound canisters. I'm not concerned with those. I've used them all these years. You just have to be smart. Use common sense, because you don't want to. But you don't want to be like Firebob. Firebob almost burned the van down. Anyway, yeah, propane is nothing to sneeze at. You got to be very careful. Sally Vella, wonderful that you are helping Lydia and be a good step boyfriend to Christian. What do you mean step boyfriend? Step boyfriend? I'm not Christian's boyfriend. Step or otherwise. You are very creative. I know what you mean, Sally. Thank you very much. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you. Health and Faith Joyce B. Nice haircut. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's just a simple haircut, but thank you. Minivan Mike has a Dodge Caravan. And how's that working out for you? You like it? How long have you been doing it? Alright, James has to go. He has to kill the inverter. I can have my inverter on all night, buddy. You have 800 watts plus whatever. I don't know how many battery amps. Maybe you can tell us that. But watch what I did with my setup and just watch. I can't say anymore. What time is it? 9:45. I still have a little bit of time. Trying to get to all these questions really quick. I keep cutting out, says Nancy. Am I clear? Because maybe you have to change the settings for YouTube, the way you watch YouTube. Just go to a lower resolution for now while you're watching this. So that may help you. I apologize. I have to be here. I thought I could do this with like 3 bars LTE. Apparently, maybe not. Harold Gatlin says, ever get any Cris sausage? It's like Polish sausage. I used to get it around Fall River, Massachusetts. Cris. Chorizo? It's a Portuguese sausage. And there's a lot of Portuguese in Massachusetts. And I used to eat it when I was younger. I don't want to. I stopped eating pork a while back. I don't know, it just disgusts me, so I stopped eating it. And I used to love bacon. I don't eat bacon except turkey bacon. And that sausage, that chorizo sausage, I used to eat it, but then after a while, and my mom used to buy it for me. I'm like, listen, stop buying it, because it was hurting my stomach. I would eat it, and then my stomach would be in pain. I'm like, I just can't eat it. It would taste nice going in, but then it would just kill me all night. So I can't eat it anymore. And it's pork, so I'm not. I don't know. Minivan Mike says, love, all right, I'm not, thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. It's a learning process. You know, the more you do it, hopefully the better you get at it. I like the editing process, but I can't do it too much like I used to, because it tires me out. Maybe because now I add more stuff to it. When I say I mean Spielberg, or everybody knows that, but more stuff is added to it, so it takes longer to do the editing. And but I like doing the editing. And here's a little preview, a little teaser. So I had some videos. I had some old videos on VHS, home videos from when I was younger, and I just had all those videos. At least I think all of them, maybe some of them. I had them digitized, so I have them right here. Most of them. I have to download a couple more. So I have them here, and I'm thinking of compiling a couple videos based on these older videos that I did. So I don't know if you folks would like to see that, but even if you don't, I'm going to do it anyway. So but that's coming up in the near future. It's just something that I want to put it on YouTube, and this way it's a memory that stays there. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I look a little different. My hair is not as white, so Mike will be full-time in 3 to 4 months. That's cool. Buddy decided to act up. He's like, time to pick up Elise. Beep, beep, beep. It's just my alarm went off. So I'm just fixing that a little bit. I don't know how I had this. Is it like that? So I just noticed something. This buddy over here is watching us the whole time. Stay. Darn it. Okay, now he's in timeout. Anyway, where was I? Okay, Ed has an important question for me. Will you be ignoring me more or less this summer? Probably less, Ed. I don't ignore you. I just skip over your comments or questions. Minivan Mike asks, what editing software do I use? I use Final Cut Pro. I switched to Final Cut Pro, I don't know, a few months ago, 4 months ago, 3-4 months ago. And I love it. In the beginning, it was frustrating because I was not used to it. And of course, the manual, I just did that to the manual. Like, didn't even come with the manual, but I never looked at it. So I started editing with it, and it was a little different from what I was using before. And before I was using iMovie on a computer. And so it has some of the same features that iMovie has, but more advanced features also, much more advanced features. Actually, I can say that I'm not even scratching the surface of what iMovie, what Final Cut Pro has to offer. I'm not even scratching the surface. There's so much to learn that I just don't have the time to learn it. And so I just do the best I can, and I guess I learn a little bit every time I do it. I learn a little bit something new, hopefully. And but yeah, Final Cut Pro is great. I used to use iMovie, and I loved it on a computer. Before I was using iMovie on a computer, I was doing all my editing on a phone. And then when I bought the computer, I did nothing with the computer for a few months because I tried it, and I'm like, I just don't like it on the computer. I like it on the phone better. Then once I got used to the iMovie on the computer, I'm like, I can't do it on the phone now. I like it on the computer better. And then when I got Final Cut Pro, I was frustrated for about the first week. And then after that, you get used to it, and I love it. I wouldn't go back to iMovie. So that's what I think, and that's what I'm using. for editing. Well, everybody, when I say I, not me per se, because I don't do that stuff. I just delegate. Spielberger does that. I don't do that stuff. Daffy says hi from Prescott, Arizona. I don't remember if I ever went by Prescott, Arizona. I went by Flagstaff without going on a map right now. How close is Prescott from Flagstaff? Because I don't remember. Gatekeeper just showed up. He's a little late to the party, but at least he's here. How you doing, Paulie? Shelia, I keep calling you Shelia. Shelia. New. I'm in Arizona too. Brand new is in Arizona too. I like to see you, but I'm far away in the East Coast, so I can't rhyme. Forget it. I could if I wrote it down, but I can't. I just can't do it. I could sing though. If you like me to sing, I'm very good at singing. So just give the word and I will sing away. Nancy, skipped you twice. What do you mean I skipped you twice? I've answered your questions. Unless I missed something. I don't know. All right, the questions are dwindling, and it's almost 10 o'clock, so I'm going to begin to wrap this up so I can go pick up Elise. I want to make sure to be there. I'm only parked maybe like 2-3 minutes away from where she's working, so I'm not far away. And she leaves, I think she's out at 10:30, so it's not like I have to be there at 10 or leave here at 10, but I don't want to be late. Jenna says, I'll let you know when the next open mic is. Well, if I'm not working, I mean, I could be up there in an hour or so. So it is possible that I can make it up there. You never know. I might just do that. I'm assuming you do it out of some bar or restaurant or something, or some place. I don't know. Yeah, that could be fun. For me, for everybody else listening, it would be exciting, very exciting. Teresa, sing me a song. Well, I don't know if everybody wants a song right now. I mean, Minivan Mike says, the first time I saw your videos, you were so in love with your bread and cooking it on your stove. I am still in love with my bread, but I try to keep the mother, poor mother. I try to keep the mother alive as long as I could, but it's just not feasible. I live and I work, and my life is always near places where I can buy food, bread, and etc. So it doesn't make sense, especially now in the summertime, for me to be keeping this thing alive and then to be cooking, in a hot van, or even to do it outside. It's just not feasible. But what I still love it, and I still love it, and I still want to do it, especially now that I have a Dutch oven. So I'll probably be using it in there, or cooking or baking the bread in there. But it's just not feasible for me to be doing that. Now, if I was living on the road full time, going from BLM land to BLM land, national forest, this and that, then that there would make sense for me to bake my bread, because I'm not always near a store. So today I want bread. I'm going to be camping here for a few days. I just get the bread going and bake it, and now I have fresh bread. But in my situation, it's not feasible to do it every day. I did it to prove to myself that I could do it, and now that I've done that, I don't have to do it every day. So, or don't have to do it at all. But in the future, you know, I might do it. I might have a few days off, and I might go somewhere and just decide to make my own bread. It's very easy. Nick Wood wants me to sing. See ya, Bob. Bob Ski has to go. And Nancy has to go. Alright, I'll sing a song. I'm not feeling it though. You know, my voice is a little off. Traveling through roads never driven before. I'm traveling through roads never driven before. I went to Florida and then drove to Alabama. My mind was on Georgia, but I camped in Tennessee. Then I drove to West Virginia, but not before I drove through Kentucky. That's all I got for tonight, folks. I know my voice is irresistible, and I should have a huge contract for singing, but I just don't want to, and I don't feel like doing that. I'd rather work in construction than singing for a living. That's just how I feel. Oh, come on, Mike. See, here's Mike, has no taste in music, no taste in singing. Mike, just don't say anything, Mike. Now, Ed, the same thing. Anybody that does not like my singing, just keep it to yourself. You have no taste. You have no ears to listen to good music and good sing. Just say nothing at all. You're embarrassing yourselves there. Unbelievable. See, Nick Wood is applauding. Nick liked my singing. And Teresa too, look, see? There's some people out there, they're few and far between, but they appreciate good singing. And that's what I'm singing. It's just natural, it just comes out. But I didn't warm up my vocals. Once all this stuff just flows out. Oof. I can't stop it. See, even Minivan Mike agrees. I sing good. Larry says, "Ouch, Larry, get out of here. You terrible. You don't understand good singing." Janice, it was lunge-ish. I hope that's a good thing, because it better be a good thing. Well, anybody that disagrees with me is banned from my channel. That's it. Anybody that says I don't sing good, darn it, I'm gonna get my thing here and I'm gonna ban everybody. Everybody's banned. Done. Gone. What, Larry? It sounds like it does sound like a chainsaw. I hope it's a good chainsaw, because some good chainsaws have a good sound to them. Is that what you mean? I hope that's what you mean, because otherwise you are banned from my channel. Done. But it's a tune saw. You folks are funny. All right, listen. Thank you for staying with me for about an hour. I really appreciate it. Made my time go really fast, and what else can I say? Thank you for keeping me company, and I'll see you next time that I do. I'll probably if whoever's listening to this or seeing this